Welcome back. The South Shore Camera Club here in Quincy, would you believe, is 90 years old. A lot of folks have still not heard about it, myself included. So that's a great reason to get the co-presidents in here, Rosemary Sampson and Betty Kilgore, both joining us to talk a little bit more about the club, about how you might become a member. So ladies, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hey,
Thank you very
having
much.
us.
Yeah, this is a pleasure. I didn't realize, Betty, 90 years old for the South Shore Camera Club?
90 years old, so it's changed over 100 years. It's changed dramatically how photography is taken from huge cameras to now people with cell phones in the club.
Right, right. Talk a little bit, if you can, about how it got started. Obviously, you weren't there at the time.
That was a little before my time,
Yeah.
and
But the history of the club.
I'm going to assume it's a group of photographers who really want to learn more. We really focus on getting people to learn what's in photography, how to take better pictures, and how to just really enjoy photography.
Yeah, how many members roughly do you have now?
We have over 100.
Do you really?
Yep.
Okay. And the unique thing I think about the club is that it's all expertise levels, right? It's not professional photographers only.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have from brand new people who got a camera for Christmas, don't
Yeah.
know what to do with it, to professional photographers. And the last couple of years, a lot of people are just taking cell pictures.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Solely on their cell phones
Yeah.
now, because they're more than just phones now,
Yeah.
of course. And that's okay with the South Shore Camera Club?
Sure, we take whoever wants to take pictures, and I think the best thing about what we do is people are very willing to share their knowledge. So the professionals, when we have road trips, you're out in the field, the professionals will help a beginner, what are you looking at, what types of settings are you doing, and will help out with it. They'll also share, like if they get a great shot, they'll tell everyone where to go and how to do
Oh,
it.
it's not like the secret fishing hole where the fishermen keep it to themselves.
Right, and
Okay.
we've heard some other clubs that really are very secretive about their best pictures.
Okay, but not at South Shore Camera
No,
Club?
absolutely.
Okay. Is it always been in Quincy, do you know?
As far as I know, I think it is. I'm not positive about
Yeah.
that, but
How
I
did
think so.
You yourself get involved?
It's funny because I saw a picture of myself. I was like 4 years old and had a camera, which I don't really remember that camera. But I've always been interested in photography, maybe because I really have no creativity as far as music or anything. But I like taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I looked around at the website, and I went to a meeting and went to a few more meetings, and then became very involved in it. And like I said, I like that it's a very welcoming environment.
Okay, so how long have you been a member now?
Almost 15 years
Really?
now. Yeah.
Okay. How did you become co-president? How did that journey happen?
Well, I've been on the board for about 4 years, and
Okay.
I said I'll do anything, but I won't be president. And then my friend Rosemary decided that if we split it, it would be okay.
It'll be okay? You can share the burden, Rosemary,
Right.
is that
Yes.
right?
It's been a great journey.
Does
exactly.
it? Tell me about your journey to the South Shore Camera
I
Club.
had a neighbor, and she was my mentor, and she talked to me about the club, and I'd just rather learn with you. She said, no, you need to join the club. And I know on this day she would be very proud that I'm sitting here talking about her club.
Oh, really?
She had been in it at least 40, 45 years.
Wow.
And she just loved it. And she was proud of me when I did a road trip for the first time. And I know that this would be making her very happy that I'm sitting here talking about her club.
And
Because
how
she
long
really-
ago was that?
That was in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably started with her in 2007 with private things and whatever. She would show me how to turn my camera on.
Yeah.
And then we just followed each other through. It's been great.
So you've both been members about the same amount?
Exactly.
amount
And
of
when we
time.
first started, we were doing prints and slides for competitions, and now we no longer do that. I mean,
It's all
things came.
digital.
It's all
digital.
digital,
Yeah.
which is easier because people don't have to pay to print it up and all of
Oh,
that.
sure, yeah, and wait for it to be
Yep.
developed. Do folks still use film? Is anybody still using
Do we
film?
remember?
There are some people
Are there?
who do.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare at this point,
Yeah.
although I'm hearing a little bit more that people are deciding to go back and just try that again. But
Okay, all right, but for the most part it's digital, obviously.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
So where or when does the club meet, Betty? Talk about that first of all.
We meet at the Congregational Church, the South
Quincy Point.
Quincy Point,
right?
okay.
Quincy Point Congregational Church, Tuesday nights. During January and February, we do it on Zoom. We started doing that during the pandemic
Sure.
and kept it for the winter months.
Okay.
And one Tuesday a month, we have a board meeting And the other 3 meetings, we either have workshops or speakers with great expertise or, a lot of different things going on.
Okay. Is there a cost to be a member of South Shore Camera Club?
For an individual, it's $60 for a year,
Okay.
which is amazing for what you get, all the meetings, we do lots of road trips. We've gone as far as Italy.
Wow.
An island, but
Really?
a lot of it is local. We'll go down the Cape for a day, and once again, like I said, everybody shares their knowledge and helps out, and so it's $60 for individual and $100 for family.
Okay. And who can be a member, and how do they become a member?
Anybody can. We have
Anybody.
and it's also $20 for students.
Oh, okay.
We do have a couple of students, and actually, right now, we're having a special. Because our formal meetings end by the end of May.
Take the summers off, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll do road trips and get-togethers, but no formal meetings. So we're having a special. You can join now, and you'll be a member straight through to September 2026.
Oh, okay.
So you get kind of a year and a
Year and a
half
half
membership.
memberships for the same $60.
Right.
Okay. It's a bargain.
It's a bargain.
Very good. Now, talk a little bit about your membership as it exists right now. Is it all walks of life, would you say? Is it older folks, retirees, younger people?
We
bit
have a
mix?
lot of retirees, but we had an Instagram page that we just set up last fall, Betty. And,
About a year ago.
And it's been amazing.
Makes sense for a camera club to be on Instagram,
Correct.
right?
And the 2 people who set it up have done a great job of, getting the word out there. And we must have had at least 20 new members since it
Wow.
all started, and only 4 or 5 in the past week or so.
Okay.
So it's
Really?
it's really growing. Exactly.
And are those younger people? would you
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they
okay.
came to their first meeting in person last week, and it's exciting to be in person. It makes sense in January and February to do it on Zoom because it's cold and people don't want to come out.
say? Yeah, it's dark at like 2 o'clock in
But
the
when you
afternoon.
get there, even as you're driving there, you think, oh, this would be easier on Zoom. And then you get there, and the camaraderie that exists with the members is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We had a workshop, and so people were sharing their information and taking photos, and very excited about it.
Yeah. Now, Betty mentioned also you have competitions.
We do. On the second Tuesday of every month, we have competitions.
Okay.
And we have 7 categories. And on one of the categories, which is open color, you compete only against the beginners or the intermediates,
Okay.
so you're not competing against everyone. So
Right. Okay.
it's a great way to learn, because we tell the judges that we have members there to get educated during the competition. You can critique, but don't be harsh. Just tell them what they can do to improve and point out their good points of their photo. And most judges do a great job at that.
Constructive critique,
Absolutely.
right? To show them how to get
Yeah,
better.
it works very well.
Yeah, it's an
Exactly.
art form, right? Photography is an art
Oh, exactly. Yes.
form. Quincy Art Association has a category for photography in their,
Yep.
in their competitions. So do you give prizes?
We did first, second, third, and honorable mentions.
Okay.
We used to give ribbons back in the day, but we stopped doing that.
Okay.
I don't think anybody really was. Although there's a few members who would like to have a ribbon, but we're good with that. Yes. And at the end of the year, we have a banquet, and we give out Photographer of the Year in each category, and so it's very good. It's a great learning experience.
Yeah. Now, have you improved your photography, Rosemary, would you say?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. And we're trying to keep current. There's a lot of new things that have come in, like ICM, which is intentional camera movement. And I know you're moving the camera as you're taking the picture,
I
and
see.
it creates, just a different effect.
Okay.
And this high key photography. We've done a lot more than that, and we've done a little bit of low key photography, but you want to overexpose a high key photo. And so there's a lot of things like that
Wow.
we're teaching. How to pan when someone's driving. I'm talking in the hands. Someone's going by on a motorcycle. You want to pan so the subject is tack sharp and the background is, blurred, so it looks like motion. So
Oh,
there's a lot of
some
tricks
good
to
tips.
learning it, and you can do that with an iPhone also. So
Really?
there are apps that you can do it with.
Of course.
We're going to have you a member before you know it, Jeff.
Recruiting as
Exactly.
we speak.
Even as we
right?
speak. Exactly.
There was a video produced by the South Shore Camera Club not too long ago.
And Betty was the instigator for that.
Oh, so yeah, tell me about that, Betty.
I wrote a grant to the Mass Cultural Council,
Okay.
and we were funded through the Quincy Arts Council.
Okay.
So the grant was to, I always loved street photography, and so it was to kind of document Quincy. And that means the landscape, the diverse people, the events. There are so many things going on in Quincy, and it's such diverse landscape, from the mountains to the ocean.
Right.
such incredible history. So we really wanted to document all of that, especially when we heard that the Quincy 400 was coming up.
I see. Okay.
So we sent people out all through the summer, and went to festivals, went to sporting events, did everything, and tried to get a really good taste of Quincy.
Yeah, we have a little clip that we want to show folks of that. It's the whole piece is over 16 minutes long, but here's about a 3.5 minute clip of it that folks can see now and see the entire production on our QATV channels going
Great.
forward as well. We've been playing it for you already.
It was a fun event.
But some great shots here. And you see, I just saw the Quantum Yacht Club, Granite Lynx, the Coyote Cubs,
Yeah.
and wildlife. So, was this kind of was that the dictate, Betty? Just take all forms of Quincy pictures.
Every part of Quincy.
Okay.
And it's also, these pictures were taken by over 40 of our photographers.
Wow.
And from beginners to professionals. Some of these people were brand new photographers, but wanted to participate.
Yeah,
Sure.
we set them up in teams with a leader, and they would set up dates and where they would go and when they would meet.
Some of the drone shots, in particular, as we talked about before the program, really give you a different perspective on the city. And there was somebody in charge of that, right?
Joe Brooks,
Yeah.
who is one of our members, works for the Boston Fire Department, and he does drone photography for them and also does it for us.
Okay. So
And his pictures are amazing.
there's one right there,
Yeah.
yeah. But you get a completely different perspective on places that you've visited all your life, like Pageant Field, for instance,
Yeah.
or Wollaston Beach, or Marina Bay, from a drone perspective, as opposed to the
looks
ground level.
completely
Like there's
different.
Pageant Field.
Right.
I mean, does that look like Pageant Field?
know.
In the initial look at it, no. So you had sporting events, obviously. You had cultural festivals. You had landscapes. You had wildlife. You had skateboarding.
We had Porch Fest. I loved Porch Fest.
Porch Fest is a
It's
great
wonderful.
one, yeah. So do you think this will become kind of a yearly project?
Probably not.
I'm
I'll
not
continue
sure.
to
Maybe
go.
in a few
Yeah.
years, do it again.
Do it
We
again,
were
but-
very lucky that we were, with the grant, able to hire Julia Cumes, who is a photographer from the Cape,
Yeah.
professional, and she put the slideshow together, which was
Okay.
a huge
Endeavor.
job.
Exactly.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a musical soundtrack that we've taken out for this purpose here on this show, but there is a musical soundtrack that goes with it as well for folks to want to see the entire production.
Exactly.
And again, it's playing on our channel. We've been happy to do that for you, and we'll keep playing it because it's
Thank you.
really neat.
It is.
It is.
It is. They did a great job.
Any new projects for 2025 that we should talk about?
Well, Betty and I had a project for our 2 years. What we did is we wanted to have a speaker who would introduce a new topic, and then we would run a workshop on it. Say, for instance, ICM, and they would speak on it and tell us all the ways to do it, and then we would take our members out to the field to work on these types of things. And that was what we wanted to do for the 2 years that we've been in as presidents,
Okay.
co-presidents.
And has that been
It-
successful?
It's been very successful,
Really?
yes. It's worked
Yeah.
very well.
Okay.
We're also have a show we had a show last year at Quincy Gallery, Q Gallery.
Yes, Q Arts
And
Gallery, yeah.
we'll have another show the end of August into September.
Okay. And is there a theme or a topic for that?
The
Last year was the best of South Shore.
King.
I'm
Yep.
not sure what we'll do this year.
Okay. So there's still time then for folks if they want to become members and participate
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
in
yeah.
that show, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The show is going to be in September. You mentioned that already? Yes?
The
Okay.
end of
Yep.
August to
Yep, so there's
September.
plenty of time.
So this particular video that we just saw, that was for Quincy 400 or
Quincy 400,
Right.
correct.
any other Quincy 400 events or topics or competitions that you'll be having?
We haven't picked the topic for
Nothing
this
that-
year, so
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
There's going to be a lot of different events happening
Oh,
throughout the
exactly.
year for you to
Yep.
take pictures at, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do you say when somebody says, I hate having my picture taken, Betty?
You know what? Half the club feels the same way.
They do. Yes.
In a camera club, you just get over it.
Yeah.
But we try to be considerate and not put
Right.
people's photos out there if they're not comfortable with them.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. But as a photographer, even an amateur photographer, if you're trying to capture, I don't know, family portraits, or somebody's pet or something, and they just don't want to have their picture taken, do you
Don't.
have advice, tips, suggestions to be able to catch that shot?
We have so many skills with editing, we'll make you look fabulous.
Exactly.
You won't even recognize yourself.
You want to be taller, shorter, exactly. We can do it all.
We can do it all.
Yeah. I've heard folks, myself included, say, I don't have that photographer's eye. What is
The more you do, the
photographer's
better
eye?
you get. The more pictures you look at, the more involved you get. And that's why our competitions are so helpful, because they get to see other people's work. And as I said, I'm a math teacher. I was not creative, and yet you can develop that.
Really?
You know?
So it's a skill that
Exactly.
can be taught.
It really
learned.
can be.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And-
Come,
and it-
come on our road trips, and you'll see.
And it's also fascinating on the road trips because you'll have 10 different photographers at different levels, and they are taking pictures of the same place, and it's fascinating. Everyone
is.
sees it differently.
Yeah. So it reflects that in the picture.
Sure. Some people will stand way back. Some people will go in close. Some
Yeah.
people will do peep people. It's amazing what they walk away with, and we're like, I was right next to you. I didn't see that shot.
Right.
You know.
So, Betty, have you also found that your skills have improved?
Oh, 1,000%.
Is that
When I
right?
first went to the club and started seeing some of their pictures, I was like, I'm never going to show anyone my pictures. But you get more comfortable.
Yeah.
I've learned an unbelievable amount, and I'm much more. Obviously, I'm more comfortable with my photography now.
15 years later,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can start off with the shots of people's heads cut off, right?
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Cut off at
That's
the legs.
okay. Come to us.
Yep.
We promise it'll get better.
Really? Okay. So again, you meet on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m., Quincy Point Congregational Church. So just if somebody's interested, show up at one of your meetings?
Yep. Exactly.
The first Tuesday of the month, we have a board meeting, so we're not there then.
Okay.
But I would say, go to our website,
Yep.
drop us a line. We always welcome people who are interested just to come see if it's something they're interested
Yeah.
in, and make sure you come up to us and talk to us, because, we will welcome you.
Okay. And there's an email also they can contact you
Right.
through
Correct.
your email address. Okay. Anything else we should let folks know about right now about the South Shore Camera Club? So yes, Rosemary.
Well, we go beyond just taking pictures. We will also show people how to edit those photos,
That's great.
through Photoshop and
Yep.
Lightroom, because it's difficult to know. You might have something in there that shouldn't be there, or something you should take out, and that's an easy process. So we
Okay.
can show you how to do that.
It's like magic today.
It is like magic.
It's
today,
very
yes,
different.
uh-huh.
Yeah. So thank you both. It's been a
All
lot
right.
of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. This
You're
is
welcome.
great.
Hope we help get the word out for you and get
All
you
right.
some more.
Thanks so
membership.
much, Joe.
Another 90 years.